All right, let's dive right in. We're talking about a no-fluff, straight-up roadmap for dominating online in 2026. Forget endless planning. This is all about urgent, real action. So let's get to it. You've got to get this tattooed on your brain. The absolute biggest mistake you can make right now is waiting for everything to be perfect. Seriously, your logo, that perfect website, tweaking your product forever, those are just fancy ways to procrastinate. The winners, they jump in the game fast, and they figure out how to stay relevant.
It's kind of weird when you think about it, isn't it? It has never, ever been easier to start an online business. The tech hurdles, they're basically gone. Anyone can throw up a website. But, and this is a big but, that's also the problem. Because it's so easy, everyone is doing it. The result is just this wall of noise, making it harder than ever to actually get noticed and, succeed.
So let's break that down. Look at this. On one side you have starting in 2026. Piece of cake, right? The tech is cheap, it's easy. But then you look at the other side, succeeding, and whoa, that's a whole different ballgame. You're not just competing with other businesses, you're fighting for scraps of attention from people who are totally overwhelmed against a tidal wave of competition and AI-generated stuff.
Okay, so how in the world do you actually win in that environment? Well, we start at the very beginning. Phase 1 of this whole roadmap is all about laying the foundation. And listen, this has nothing to do with software or fancy marketing tricks. Not yet. This is about getting your head in the game and figuring out exactly who you're targeting. You have to get this right first.
Action number 1. This is the big one, and it's not about tech. It's all in your head. It's a mental transition. You have to fundamentally shift your identity. You've got to stop being just a consumer of stuff online and start being a producer of value. It's a huge switch. So what does that actually look like? Well, a consumer just scrolls, watches videos, reads articles. A producer, they create, they solve problems, and they sell those solutions. You have to stop searching for the next big thing and instead ask yourself a much better question. How can I actually help my market? From now on, every single thing you learn has to be turned into an action, something tangible for your business.
And to really force this change, you need a new rule to live by. It's just a simple ratio, but I promise you, it will completely transform your output and your bottom line.
Okay, here it is. For every 1 hour you spend consuming, that means watching a course, reading a blog post, whatever, you must spend 3 hours producing. That means writing an email, outlining a sales funnel, creating a piece of content. This is the secret. This is how you stop being a professional learner and start building a real, profitable business. All right, action number 2. This is another foundational piece. Look, broad categories like fitness or marketing, they're just battlefields. They're oversaturated, they're expensive to compete in. Your mission, and it's an urgent one, is to find a micro niche, a tiny little corner of the market where there's almost no competition, but the customer's problem is like a 10 out of 10 pain. Think about it. Weight loss? Good luck. It's a total bloodbath. But what about biohacking for entrepreneurs over 40 who only have 20 minutes a day? Now that is specific. That is magnetic. See, the more you niche down, the less you have to compete on price, and the more your message just cuts right through the noise and speaks directly to your person.
Okay, so your mindset is right, and you've got your target locked in. Perfect. Now we move on to phase 2, actually building your growth engine. This is where we assemble the core machinery, the infrastructure that's going to power your business and make it run fast and smooth.
In this engine, it's made up of 4 key parts. You're going to need a command center to run the whole show from one place. You need a direct communication line to your audience. You need a really compelling lead magnet to get people on your list. And finally, you'll want some smart AI workflows to basically be your force multiplier.
So actions 3 and 4 are all about avoiding what I call integration paralysis. You know, that nightmare of trying to duct tape a dozen different tools together. Forget that. Use an all-in-one platform, something like Systemio, as your command center. Then, for your email, your communication channel, you need a serious tool like GetResponse. Why? Because you need to make sure your messages actually hit the main inbox, not the promotions tab. That's how you build real trust.
Next up, action 5, your lead magnet. And please, forget about those 50-page ebooks that nobody ever reads. This is 2026. Your freebie needs to be a high-utility tool, a checklist, a template, some kind of calculator, something that gives someone a specific, real result in less than 15 minutes. It's got to be an instant win that makes them go, wow, if the free stuff is this good, imagine what the paid stuff is like.
Action 6 is all about using AI, but using it the smart way. Here's the secret everybody misses. AI is not here to replace you or your creativity. That's the wrong way to think about it. You use AI for the grunt work, the market research, getting a first draft down, analyzing data. Then, your job is to come in and inject your humanity into it. Your voice, your stories, your unique spin on things. That's what makes you stand out, not the AI.
All right, we're at the final phase. We've got our foundation solid, the engine is built. Now it's time to pour the fuel in and fire this thing up. We're talking about the execution and profit loop, the part where relentless action and data come together to create unstoppable growth. Action number 7 is a strategy I call the content cascade. It's brilliant. Here's how it works. You create one big, valuable piece of pillar content, think a deep dive video or a long article. Then you chop that thing up into 15, 20, even more micro pieces, reels, posts, emails, you name it, and every single one of those little pieces points people back to your command center. It's how you get maximum online presence with minimum creative effort.
Well, you can't have a business if you don't have anything to sell, right? So Action 8 is about crafting an offer that is just irresistible. I mean, so good that your perfect customer feels stupid for not buying it. And it's not just about your main product. It's about the bonuses, the guarantees, taking all the risk off their shoulders. You just stack the value so high that saying yes becomes a no-brainer.
Okay, listen up, because this one is absolutely critical. Action 9 is about focus. You have got to stop chasing vanity metrics. I'm talking followers, likes, views, all that stuff. Sure, it feels good, it strokes the ego, but it does not pay your bills. In reality, there are only 3 numbers you should be obsessing over. And here they are. Number 1, what does it cost you to get a new lead? Your lead acquisition cost. Number 2, how many of those leads actually become paying customers? Your funnel conversion rate. And number 3, how much is a customer worth to you over their entire lifetime? Your customer LTV. That's it. These 3 numbers are like the vital signs for your business. They tell you exactly what's working and what's broken. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important action of all, relentless execution. You have to get into a mindset of constant testing. Look, if a campaign bombs, it's not a failure. It's just data. It's valuable information telling you what to try next. Your ability to test, learn, and pivot faster than anyone else, that is your ultimate weapon. So, let's bring it all home. The path is laid out for you. The technical excuses are gone. You've got the tools, you've got the strategy. The only variable left in the equation is you. It's your will to actually do the work, day in and day out. So that leaves us with one last critical question. You have this 10-point roadmap. The time for learning and consuming is officially over, right now. So what is the very first production-focused action you are going to take today?